Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
You know what I love, Steve? Being a jerk.
Listen, dude, we've been doing a show for 90 minutes.
I had a chance to listen to the last call. We game plan for PJ Hall.
Uncle. I have a list of guys I would never hang out with. Your name is right on the top.
Do you like the worst song bracket we're doing?
It's considerably better than the supplement bracket. Let's start with that.
I won a limbo contest.
Oh, my God.
Fran Brown joining us.
These guys are working their butts off. They expect to see their fans.
You want extra money just because you're North Carolina? I'm in all right
What
now.
an honor for you and Jordan to be next to me
every day.
This is Orange Nation.
There's music, there's fun, there's us. It's everything you could want all in one place.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fonte. We've made it to Wednesday.
Barely.
Bill Connelly, ESPN college football writer, 12:15. 1 o'clock. Sal Maiorana. He's from the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle. Covers the Bills for them. We'll talk NFL. NFL season starts tomorrow, Paulie.
Sure does. Right here on ESPN Radio, Steve. Not on News Channel 9.
Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout at 315-437-7644. You're right. It's not.
How you doing,
tomorrow's game is
Steve?
not on Channel 9. I'm good. Sometimes I wish, you complain when I don't get here early, but then when I do get here early, we end up doing our first segment of the show.
I did not want to do the segment we just did on the air because I don't want to deal with people, Steve.
Because we get heated with each other before we even start.
With you over this.
Not heated, but like we have
We're brothers.
We have a heated discussion without the mics on, and now here we go.
Do you really want to lead with that? Because I don't.
No, I said if you're brave enough to bring that up, we could go down that path. But
I'm not going to. Let's do what Tim has written on the rundown.
Chicken.
You're
a chicken.
No, I'm not a chicken. I don't want to be negative. Okay. I got to hold myself to the same standard I hold the listeners to. I am state-run media, so I'm not going to be negative. Okay?
Okay, whatever you say. I will let you lead with whatever you would like to lead with.
Let's lead. What would be a successful game against UConn?
Chicken. Okay.
I will say this: a win.
I'm gonna get it out of you before the end of the show. What we talked about before the show starts.
I got to figure out how to word it because that's why I brought it up to you. Like I got to figure out how to word it properly without sounding like an idiot because there is a point to it.
Yeah.
It's just
the way you worded it before the show started. Ain't it? As the kids would say.
Yes, I know that. That's why I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
So, what would be successful? I kind of had this discussion with our guest from Syracuse.com yesterday.
Javon Edmonds.
Yes. A win is what you get. Okay, it's UConn in year 2 of building a program, and you take it whether it's 1 point or 10 points. You take it.
Yeah, you take it.
And that's what you're happy with.
You take it. Is it considered a success? If they win by 1, it was a successful.
It was the same It's the same thing I said about the Tennessee game. Like, you don't catch Tennessee in year 2. You got to catch Pitt and BC. You got to beat BC this year. Those are the things you got to build towards things. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. It happened overnight, but you don't have any of those seniors anymore.
Yeah.
All right? So let him build his program. You beat UConn. They barely beat UConn last year.
That's true.
So beat UConn, and then you're happy. Why am I so angry right now?
I don't. That's why I said we did our first segment off air, and now
you're gonna be all fired up.
You're fired up.
That's what you're happy about. It's just
I like
beat UConn.
I like what Mike B26 said in the chat. He said, "You tell us, Paulie, what you want to say, and we'll tell you how to say it." I do think maybe that should be a segment later in the show.
No, I don't trust them.
You could try to talk your way
They're
through
the reason I don't want to do this is I don't want to deal with the listeners.
You should try to talk your way through what you were trying to say, and then we can all collectively help you try to word it.
No. I'll tell you what. Here's how I'll word it. if they lose to UConn, it makes it way more relevant.
Yeah.
And we'll do it then.
Okay.
Okay, so if they lose to UConn, I got Monday all set up for us, all right?
Well, if they lose to UConn, nobody's going to come at you for what you said.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, it's not the time to be negative. And that's why I'm saying a 1-point win against UConn is what you need in year 2 of a head coach. Just like 6-6 is fine. Beating UConn by any amount is fine in year 2 building a football program.
Yeah, no, I generally agree with you about that it's fine. I don't know if I would describe it as a successful Saturday if they win by 1 against
Any
UConn.
win is a successful win in Division I football. Thank you.
Okay, that's coach speak right there. But that's not the expectation. That's not the standard
Why?
of what they're trying to build. Because the expectation, I think, right now in the standard is that you want to raise the bar, right? Because beating UConn by 1 might have been okay 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but now you want to raise the bar so that, UConn should be a game that you win and you win handily. You talked about BC, Pittsburgh, Wake Forest, Virginia. I know Wake and Virginia are not on the schedule. Those are opponents.
Yes.
You got to beat them every year. That's got to be. I think what the expectation is. You're right. Are you going to take a win? Of course you would. It's fine if they win by 1, but I think fans want to see that. This program, this team improved from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah, they will. You'll get a win, and I think they're going to win by more than 1. I just think people need to be realistic. Fran Brown's a great football coach. We see that. He's a great recruiter. He's got that. You can't just snap your finger with a bunch of freshmen playing and new guys in your system. And you can't say, oh, week 2 they did this. Let's let the season play out. Just like I always say, I said it during basketball, and it went horribly wrong. I was like, hey, let's just let them see if they improve. And they improve, but just not enough.
Right.
And you got to hope the football team improves enough that when you get to Miami and Notre Dame, you're competitive and maybe even can pull off a win against them.
Yeah, Bowling Ball in our chat says UConn isn't bad, and that's just it. UConn isn't bad. They won 9 games a year ago. They went to the Fenway Bowl. They won that. Jim Mora has that program certainly moving in the right direction. And so I think that, that's something you got to keep your mind on as well going into this game, is that this is not – UConn from 5 years ago. It's not Syracuse from 5 years ago either. But again, I think the expectation is for fans anyway that you should go out. It's UConn at home. You should win this game by a touchdown or more. If they squeak by on a last-second field goal, you'll take it. But I don't think that's what fans are hoping for.
Well, they should, because there's no Kyle McCord, there's no Gadsden, there's no LaQuinn Allen, there's no Marlo Wax. It's different this year. You got the basketball team should brace people. You may have somebody who's hopefully not, but somebody who's just not ready yet.
Yeah.
Or good enough to play yet, because that's what happens in the transfer portal.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think everybody talks about Tennessee being a measuring stick game, and it was. But this one is too for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you.
If they go out and beat UConn by more than what they did last year, that's a good sign, because UConn's brought people back more than Syracuse has.
UConn is their starting quarterback back, among others. So, I would agree with you that if they go out and they handle their business and it's, a solid win, not like a last-second field goal type of victory, I think you would be encouraged.
Yeah. And I think if you just get out of it with a win, you get out of Colgate with a win, and then you see if you've improved going into Clemson. Don't get hurt at Clemson. Try and get a win, and then go from there. And you got to win the toss-up games. You got to be better than Pitt, which people are saying is now difficult. BC, you got to be BC this year.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Clemson is going to be in a really bad mood, right? Coming off that LSU game,
3 weeks later.
No, I think that this loss is going to kind of refocus them. I mean, they were so bad on offense,
but they have been for 2 years.
We'll see. I just have a feeling that they're going to go on a little.
It's
run.
Been longer than that.
They're going to go on a run here, and if you were going to get Clemson, it might have been in that opener. I'm not sure anybody's going to beat them the rest of the way, but we'll see.
They got to figure it out on offense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to face LSU defense.
Phillies Most Wanted says 7 winnable games left, can only hold serve at 6 of them. Yeah, I don't know that anything's I would not chalk anything up as a sure win except for Colgate.
And I think, again, it's so early, but having seen everybody play, for the most part now, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Miami, I think that, listen, anything can happen in sports, and we've seen big upsets happen. I can't imagine they're winning any three of those games.
Right. If North Carolina plays like it did, they may be worse than UConn if they continue to play that way.
Yeah.
So you just gotta let the season play out.
Yeah. So I just named 4. So, Philly's Most Wanted says 7 winnable games left. I'm wondering which games he and others feel is you cannot win it outside of Miami, Notre Dame, Clemson, and obviously the Tennessee game that they already played. Not winnable? I don't know.
I'm not ready to put anything as not winnable or a sure win yet. It's only been 1 week. I got to see Angeli play against a normal defense. You got to see if the O-line improves. If the O-line improves, that may lead more to a quarterback change. If the O-line doesn't improve, that may lead more to a quarterback change than the quarterback's performance.
And I do wonder kind of aloud if we're going to see them run the football a little bit more. We saw them have a lot of success on the ground against Tennessee. Fran Brown said afterwards, we got to get Yasin Willis the ball more. And I went back last year, Paulie. I don't have the numbers in front of me now. They're sitting on my desk at Channel 9. But I went back last year. UConn was 0-4 against Power 4 opponents. And you look at the rush yards in those games, 2 of the opponents went well over 200 yards. Syracuse only had 60-something because, again, they throw the ball so much. But if you're looking at, on average, those Power 4 opponents ran all over UConn. So I do wonder if we're going to see them, committed to the run here a little bit more on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's going to be, as much as we've said, and here I will be negative, as much as we've said the UConn game was closer than the score was, that first quarter could have gone...
You're talking about Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, sorry. Yeah. The Tennessee game could have gone way worse if they were completing passes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could. And again, I think you got to look at it as that first quarter really couldn't. You're right. The score could have been worse, but it was still 17-0.
Yeah.
And again, a few years ago, that's probably a game that they get blown out.
Yeah,
in. So
53-0 at the end.
I think that was encouraging that they came back. And again, they found some success running the football. They found some success throwing as well. I mean, Steve Angeli had almost 300 yards passing.
Yeah,
so
that's one thing.
The offense was not the issue.
That's one thing I don't think we'll ever see from a Fran Brown team is they're going to give up.
Yeah. All right, let's hit a timeout.
That went way better than what I wanted to do.
Yes, yeah. I think
because I'd be screaming at the clock right now.
We need time faster to discuss what you brought up before the show. We can't do that in 10 minutes because we do have a guest we have to get to. Bill Connelly, ESPN college football writer, will join us here on the other side. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.
Sunday, the Giants kick off the season in D.C. against the Commanders. Pre-game at noon. Kickoff at 1. Big Blue plays here. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1.
I'm Steve Wyatt. It's got to be Nye. Hi, I'm Dan Shear, General Manager for the Knight Automotive Group in Oneida and Rome. Inflation is down. Gas prices are down. Heck, the cost of eggs are even down. You know what else is down? Your new car payment when you buy from Nye. You heard me right, Central New York. The incentives are fantastic this month, which, when combined with your huge trade appraisals and our Nye discounts, you will be paying less, which means a lower monthly payment. So come to a dealer that you can trust. And if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we've got those too, and they are priced to move. My buyer's out buying inventory every week with cars priced right to give every customer out.
Sorry, we were talking to our producer. Guys, you couldn't see him on camera.
Michael Antonio, it's good to see you back in the chat. It was nice to meet you in person.
Our producer's back. All right. Michael Antonio, welcome back.
He stopped by the fair. He said hello. I don't think you were out there, Paulie, but...
No, I don't talk to the peasants. Oh, I'm so tired. I was looking at kickers, and I don't know if this is a kicker or not, so I'm just going to do it now. They're saying that COVID is preventable now with just an over-the-counter allergy spray.
Really?
Yeah, like... If you imagine if we knew that day one.
Yeah. Well,
that was a wild world.
It was. Seems like a different lifetime.
Yeah,
like, it was like 5 years ago.
I was just setting up the booth, and we did some dumb shit. We had like one piece of plexiglass between the two announcers. Like, what the hell is that gonna do? Like everybody was in it was like in school suspension, and the announcers were in little booths of their own.
Yeah, Kevin says he just got over COVID. COVID's like making a comeback. Like my sister just had COVID.
They call it razor blade COVID. It gives you a bad sore throat.
Oh, the recent one?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want that.
I would love it if you got it. Then I wouldn't have to work with you for a couple days. 5-day break.
It's tempting.
Yeah, it sounds nice. Dude, we were we would have guests on the show, and I would have to unplug one headset and plug a new, fresh one in for. Like, we had to buy more headsets.
I remember going to the grocery store and then getting back and like wiping down all the cans and stuff. Like,
your own, spray your food with
but we didn't
bleach.
know. Like nobody. I mean, looking back, we're like, man, but like we didn't know.
Yeah, it was wild. Everybody was stealing the toilet paper. I told you the story. I found a huge box of toilet paper in my garage.
Yeah, you did tell me
I was
that,
like, what the hell? How much did you spend on that break, Govendo, that you hit the Ohtani in? How much were the Dodgers in that break? Is that how you did it? Or did you... $200 for a break? Jeez! What the hell are you doing, man? Who are you breaking with? Yeah, that was wild, too. I was at the ACC tournament. We were just, after that first game, we were driving back to our hotel. We're like, we're not playing game 2 now. Like, I got to get back to Syracuse, though. We're going to do the Labatt giveaway at some point. I think 12:45. I'll figure something out. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. I went to the fair only to do the show and left. I'm going to say this, I really enjoy the hot beef sundae, so I grabbed that on the way out.
I had one of those too.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
It's just pot roast on potatoes with a cherry tomato on top.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, and a little cheese.
Yeah.
I don't do the tomato, but yeah, it's very good. No sour cream either.
Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the day, Hootie and the Blowfish. This one's called Tucker's Town.
All right, as promised, we go to our guest line to bring on our first guest today. If you happen to be watching us on QSportsTalk.com, you'll see Bill Connelly, ESPN college football writer. And Bill, thanks so much for joining us. Before we jump into football, before we talk Syracuse, UConn, I know you got a new book coming out. Tell us about it.
For Progress, the definitive guide to the future of college football, which is a very lofty title. I don't know if anything is definitive, but felt like a good time to write about just the 38 different ways that football has changed in recent years and what we can make of it, where we think things are going.
So before we jump into Syracuse, UConn,
where is it going?
Where is it going? And I guess specifically with the ACC, we've seen that the top teams in the conference have been unhappy for a while. The conference is doing its best to keep everybody happy and kind of change the rules and how they divvy up all the money. What do you think ultimately happens with the ACC?
I mean, it's a very good question. And I do think, they bent over backwards to keep teams that wouldn't stay if they had an offer anyway. So I wasn't really sure about the ACC going in that direction. But, we're in a period now where I think things will be semi-stable until kind of the 2030 range, when a bunch of TV contracts all kind of start to come up at once. And if we see some big move after that, if the ACC splinters in some way, that's about when it'll happen. I haven't decided quite yet what I think is most likely in that scenario. But yeah, we got at least a couple years of peace.
if they do go to a super league, and we've heard that in the past, right? Where does that leave a program like Syracuse?
Yeah.
Is Syracuse a program that's, I guess a top 48 program? Let's say it goes to, 48 schools. Do they have a seat at the table? Do they have a chair when the music stops in the game of musical chairs?
Well, the thing about all the talk about super leagues and whatnot is, and this is something I touch on in the book, we're kind of there already. Yes, the SEC and Big Ten are, deigning to allow a Big 12 team and an ACC team and a Group of 5 team into the playoff, but they already secured all the money. So they already have most of what they want right now. Obviously, there are a few more brands that they might try to get to expand their reach a little further, but I don't know if I believe. It would almost be that the Big Ten and SEC have to give up some level of power and money and influence if we were to get to a Super League situation. I don't think they're necessarily interested in that.
That's a really good point. All right, let's talk football now. And we finally, after all this talk about build up to a new season, we finally have seen pretty much everybody play at least once, including Syracuse. What were your takeaways from that Syracuse-Tennessee game? What did the stats, I guess, say to you about that Syracuse-Tennessee game and this Orange squad in general?
Yeah, it was a confusing game from a Syracuse perspective because obviously they were a little overwhelmed. Tennessee just had more depth and athleticism and experience for that matter. But then for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, Syracuse would look pretty solid. And I was I didn't know I had a couple different impressions of Syracuse in that game, but I'm happy that they're playing UConn this coming weekend. UConn's a really, really solid team that actually has a decent amount of explosiveness, or at least, they did against Central Connecticut. And so we're going to learn about Syracuse more than we did. Maybe it's just that Syracuse is set up to be a really young and inconsistent and up and down team, but there was a little upside there. And if they handle UConn, I think that's a really good sign.
All right, your SP plus rankings actually have UConn slightly higher than Syracuse. So can you, I guess for our listeners and for us too, explain kind of what goes into these rankings, what's taken into account, and what gives UConn, the slight edge at this moment over Syracuse? Yeah,
so in season, it's basically opponent adjusted, tempo adjusted, a measure of the sustainable aspects of college football, we'll say. Funky bounces will determine games, random big plays will determine games, but it's an effort to try to get to what you can actually maintain from week to week. At this point in the season, obviously it's over 90% preseason projections, which, were relatively unfriendly to Syracuse just because the history before the last season wasn't great, lost a ton of production, those kinds of things. So, they're pretty uncertain right now. It's just a little bit based on last week. And right now, it appears that UConn and Syracuse are a little even, but we'll see.
You said a moment ago that UConn is a really solid team, and I think when the schedule first came out, the knee-jerk reaction for Syracuse fans is, well, UConn's a win, Colgate's a win. You're trying to find wins, but this is not the UConn program from 5 years ago. I mean, Jim Mora, they won 9 games last year. They went to a bowl game. They won a bowl game. They've got some guys back, including their starting quarterback. What, I guess, impresses you the most about the Huskies, and maybe what is most concerning if you're an Orange fan going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, they legitimately improved last year. The first year that Mora was there, they went 6-7, but they won some close games. It wasn't very sustainable on paper, and they fell apart the next year. But yeah, 9 games last year, they were 67th in SP plus. They were 60th on defense, and you combine that with a nicely experienced receiving core, experience a quarterback. The defense got hit pretty hard by attrition, but I did like some of the transfers they brought in. So just kind of feels like they're building. I know it's not really technically a G5 team because they're indies, but just they've built a kind of solid mid-major there. It seems like they've got really solid talent.
Looking at your SP stuff in the ACC, what happens to a school like North Carolina after what happened, with Bill Belichick's first game?
Yeah, they fell a long way is what happened. I think 24 spots from the week before. And that's kind of justifiable. They actually fell way more than TCU rose, which I found was interesting. But we've gotten a few reminders over the last couple of years that it's really hard to build sturdy lines in the transfer portal on a discount. That's kind of what North Carolina tried to do this offseason, and it did not look good at all. Those lines got overwhelmed by what should be a good TCU team, but definitely probably not an amazing TCU team.
One more team in the ACC is the Clemson. We've had multiple guests on that said they were their national championship pick. They lost their first game. Would you be worried after seeing their offense in week one?
Yes. No, I was a big Clemson skeptic heading into the season. I just they haven't been explosive on offense since 2020. They had a couple of long passes against Texas when they were trailing, and that was all we were going off of really last season. So I was skeptical about the offense. The run defense actually improved, which might be a good sign moving forward. But yeah, no, this has not been a very consistent and explosive offense in recent years, and that's kind of what we saw, especially going up against elite athleticism. They don't match up very well.
You talked about teams that moved up or down in your SP Plus rankings. Are there any teams that are higher in your SP Plus rankings than what the voters have them as, or the coaches have them as, and vice versa? Is there anybody that's that shows up lower in your rankings than maybe the public or the voters are thinking right now?
Yeah, I think the top of the ACC might be a little bit of a surprise right now. We've got Miami at 10th. The next team on the list is Louisville currently at 20. Clemson fell a good amount after last week's game. They'll probably rebound here as they get their footing in the coming weeks. But right now, I don't know if we're talking enough about how explosive Louisville is. This is a year where almost nobody's making any big plays. Everybody's going into a cover 2 shell and making you dink and dunk. Louisville still has massive big play potential, and that might end up making a huge difference.
Bill Connelly from ESPN joining us here for another couple of minutes. Bill, any other trends, I guess, stand out to you? I was reading one thing that said that if you bet the under blindly, just bet the under in every game, it hit like 68% or some crazy number. Did anything stand out to you like that from week one?
Yeah, it was like 17-3 at one point on Saturday. It was incredible. But no, that is the most interesting thing by far, because defenses are often ahead of offenses at the beginning of the season. I think they under hit like 61% of the time last year, but this was a whole different level, and scoring was down like 4 points per game if you're just looking at FBS versus FBS games. I think we're in a period here where tempo's down, big plays are down likely because of what defenses are doing and making you try to move 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And it's really impacting games. It was 14-7 Ohio State, Texas. 17-10 LSU, Clemson? It was wild. And I don't know. I'm here for points. I prefer 37-30. So hopefully offenses get this figured out.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Go ahead, Paul.
Just say Bill's new book, Forward Progress, The Definitive Guide to the Future of College Football, released yesterday. Where can people find it?
Definitely Amazon.com. I know that. I need to go out in the wild and try to find it in Barnes & Nobles, but I think they're there too. But that's you just goose that algorithm at Amazon right now, try to bump it up those lists.
All right, Bill, really good stuff. We appreciate you coming on. Good luck with the book, and hopefully we can have you on talking college football again down the road.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, Bill Connelly from ESPN joining us here on the show. And with that, we'll hit a timeout. We'll open up the phone lines for the rest of hour number 1, 315-437-7644. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I don't want to work. I want to bang on a drum all day. Something that's different with you. Oh, it was in too remote. Somebody put it into. Did you fix it? Do you think Collins would have done better against? I don't know.
I do not. I think that the offense was not the problem.
I don't know. Would a more mobile of quarterback maybe only gotten sacked 3 times?
They essentially put up 28 points.
Yeah, I know.
He threw for almost 300 yards. Yeah, well, he threw for 274.
It's fine. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't know. I'm not like Steve. I don't know. Steve knows.
I said I don't think so. He asked my opinion, and
your
my
opinion
is
sucks.
I thought Angeli was okay. Like he was under duress a lot.
Yeah, that's why maybe Collins may have been better.
I don't think so though. He threw for almost 300 yards.
Yeah, when they had a pass. because they were down so much. Remember, now that's not an excuse.
Still threw for almost 300 yards.
Yeah, boss is getting you with your own thing. They had to throw because they were down. Right. Correct.
But
correct.
They had to throw, but he was able to throw. This is my point. I thought he threw a good ball in spot.
I think if the offensive line struggles more, you may see Ricky Collins. And it won't be because of Angeli's play.
Well, that wasn't the question. The question was, would Ricky Collins have been better?
Oh, for God's sake, Stefan.
You guys are all saying it was garbage time and that they had to throw. They actually ran the ball with more success in the second half. Like, yes, I understand they were behind. They had to throw more.
It's because the defense was probably playing more of a pass defense.
Right. So you can't have it both ways.
Yes, I can.
They ran the ball and they had success through the air. They played better offensively in the second half.
Second string. Nothing positive. Fire Fran. You guys want to join me in trying to get Steve angry today? He was late again.
I was not late again. I was here early, and we had our first segment before the show started. Jerk. You're not my brother today.
I'm not your brother any day. We're just friends.
You're not my friend today. JP had his first day of kindergarten yesterday.
You wouldn't like Steve when he's angry.
JP was at his first day of kindergarten yesterday, and I asked him how it went, and I asked him how the bus ride went. He was on the bus for an hour and a half, mind you.
Jeez.
Yeah. So he goes.
Where's he going?
He's 10 minutes down the road, but he was the first one to be picked up, and then by the time they wind around, it was an hour and a half. So I said, "Did you sit with anybody on the bus?" He goes, "Yeah, I sat with a girl." I said, "What was her name?" He goes, "I don't know." I said, "Well, did you talk to her?" And he goes, "No, we sat there still, but our backpacks were on our laps because they told us it had to be." So he sat for an hour and a half and did not speak.
Oh, that sounds glorious.
And then I said, "Did you meet any friends today?" And he goes, "No, it was the first day, but I told a girl that I liked the unicorn on her lunchbox, and she told me she likes my lunchbox too, and that made me happy." I was like, "Oh,
such a simpler
that's
time."
so sweet, I know.
Steve, I like the HP on your laptop.
You like what?
The HP on your laptop.
Why? What does that mean? Oh, you
what
know,
a moron, guys!
I
can't work like this anymore.
I see.
I was just trying to be nice and simple down our lives, and you're just too stupid to catch on. This is a cover by Hootie and them. I didn't even know they did this, but I like this. Hey, what can I do, Steve? Darius Rucker's got a great voice, by the way.
He does.
It's different.
Wanna tell you about this girl I love.
What you can do is you can go to the phone lines right now.
You know who else has a distinctive voice?
Yes, our next caller, Stefan in Utica. What's up, Stefan?
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
How are you today?
Very good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're sorry that we missed you at the fair. I mean, we saw you, but we didn't get a chance to talk to you. So we are sorry about that.
I will tell you, the listeners got a very good close up of you.
Yeah, we did. We got a shot of you on Q Sports Talk that day. So. Yes.
Nice.
So what's going on?
Now, the Mets starting rotation, the rookies that they have called up, McLean and Jonah Tong from out there in Syracuse, the Syracuse Mets are pulling the weight in the rotation right now. But the veterans, Clay Holmes, Manaya, and Kodai Senga are struggling, and now the Mets are relying on the call-ups to pull the weight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, we knew Nolan McLean was really good, and obviously was thought of as the second number 2 pitching prospect in the organization. Tong being number 1. McLean in particular. Tong we've only seen once, but at the major league level. But McLean, man, 4-0. His ERA 1.37. He's got a WHIP under 1. He's been fantastic. Tong was obviously very impressive in his big league debut, and. The trade-off to that, Paulie, is that unfortunately, the Syracuse Mets are in a playoff race themselves, and you take away, their two best pitchers.
We see that with the crunch.
Right, you see it. It's unfortunate because they've kind of hit a little slump here late in the year with 3 series left, and now they're, I don't want to say they're fading, but they are 4 back with 17 to go. Probably not going to get it done. So it's unfortunate that they lost, their 2 best pitchers. But, man, Nolan McLean in particular has been great. And I think, the organization's very excited about Jonah Tong as well.
Every time we talk the Mets, it's brought to you by Amtrak, Steve. You can jump an Amtrak to Citi Field, catch the Mets. How are your Yankees doing? Because my Padres suck.
They do, Paulie. They lost again last night, right?
Yeah. That's not what I asked you. You weren't supposed to confirm my suck.
No,
you were
they do.
supposed to ask you how your
Here's the thing about the Yankees. The Yankees are playing better, like on paper and with wins and losses.
How are the Yankees doing? My team sucks. Yes, they do.
They do.
Thank you.
The Yankees are going to make the playoffs now. They're 2.5 back in the division, but I just don't think they're consistent enough against good teams to make a run. Like, could they make a run? Yes. Am I counting on them to make a run? No. I just don't think that they're consistent enough. They've been beaten up on bad teams of late. Got a nice win last night against the Astros, but I don't think they're consistent enough against good teams.
Yeah, Padres are up 1 on the Mets and 6 on the Reds, so they're not like in huge trouble. But they got to.
I thought they were going to win the division, though, and I don't think they're going to win the division now.
No,
it's 2.5, I think.
Yeah, they just are. Everybody's getting hurt.
Yeah, Bogarts is out for the year
till the playoffs.
Till the playoffs. Okay.
So. Yeah, it's baseball, Susan.
Yeah.
Anything else going on sports-wise?
I mean, there's a lot going on. NFL starts.
You want to hear from Jim Mora?
We can. We should clear up one thing. So there was discussion in the chat about Jim Mora, like the NFL coach, or is it Jim Mora Jr.? It's Jim Mora's son. He does not go by Jim Mora Jr. He has a different middle name. So just to clear that up. So it is Jim Mora is the head coach, but it's
What's his middle name?
I don't know. It starts with an E, I think, because I looked this up yesterday.
Eric? Evil Knievel?
Okay, so the head coach of the Colts, the playoffs, Jim Mora. So he is Jim E. Mora. His middle name is Ernest.
He also goes to camp a lot.
The son is Lawrence L. Mora. So Jim Lawrence Mora. James Lawrence Mora.
Would you rather be an Ernest or a Lawrence? Go while I try and find the sound.
Probably an Ernest, because then I could be Ernie. I think I like Ernie better than Larry.
Really?
Yeah.
Ernie's a real dorky name.
I mean,
I'd rather be Larry. And then I could be like, I'm Larry. This is my other brother. That's Daryl. Yeah. Ernest goes to camp.
We're dating ourselves with a Bob Newhart reference.
Yes, and an Ernest reference. Famous Ernies.
Ernie Johnson.
Banks.
Yeah, there you go.
And Bert.
I was going to say from Sesame Street. He's the ultimate.
His last name is And Bert.
Could we hear from Jim Mora?
Yeah, here he is.
Jim Lawrence Mora.
Let's go to the opportunity to play Syracuse.
It's a tough place to play. I think Fran has done an amazing job in his time there of putting together a really good football team. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. But, based on today's practice, our guys are wired in and they're ready to accept the challenge. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to reveal a lot. And these are the kind of games that you relish. Just got to have a great week of preparation. We've got to go out there and we've got to play as close to perfect as we can to have a chance to stay in it with these guys.
He's saying all the right things, and you got to do that, right? You give respect to the opponent. I think they obviously believe they can win this game. They have not had a lot of success against Power 4 opponents. We talked about that last year. Again, even though they went 9-4, and won the bowl game during the regular season, they were 0-4. Their 4 losses in the regular season were all against Power 4 opponents, and for the most part, the games weren't close.
They're playing a lot of ACC teams.
They are. Well, they did last year as well. They played Maryland. They played Duke. They played Syracuse. I want to say the other one. It's slipping my mind right now, but I think they played 3 ACC opponents and then Maryland.
BC.
Last year. BC was the other one.
It's a bus trip.
So they went 0-4. And they haven't had a lot of success against the Power 4 opponents. They feel like they are, with the returning players and what they built last year, they believe they can win this football game.
All right, and one more. Here's how Jim Mora, not his dad, thinks Syracuse compares to last year.
Well, the only thing they're different is, players, but schematically they're the same. Special teams have a new coordinator, so they're a little bit different there, but we played against this scheme before. We played against this coordinator before. What I see is a big physical, talented football team. A new quarterback who I think played well, big receivers, big offensive line, kind of a reconstructed defense per se. They've had, I think, 6 changes, but they brought in some really good players. They've grown their own players. I mean, it's a hell of a challenge for us.
It was Wake last year. They played, not BC.
Sorry, they played BC this year. Sorry.
They played BC this year. Okay. They got blown out by Maryland. The other games were actually close. Duke, Wake, Syracuse, all under 10 points. But again, they didn't pull off any of the wins. So
maybe they're looking at that growth this year, where maybe we should knock one of those off.
Yeah, right. And they did in the bowl game. They beat North Carolina in the bowl game, but the bowl game, everybody's different and who's actually playing and not playing. And so
North Carolina had zero interest in that game.
Right. You just got to throw out the results of the bowl game. And I think, to some degree, we throw out the results of what happened with Syracuse in the bowl game last year as well. They were playing a team that, and good for them to get to 10 wins, but that opponent was decimated, before the game was even played. You got anything else from Jim Mora?
Nope.
Okay.
I want to give away a setup for a tailgate.
I think that would be great.
Okay. Let's take a break a little early. We'll get to that. I'll come up with a trivia question.
Are we going to sweep the nation?
Yes, we haven't swept the nation in a long time.
Just keep in mind we've got to work in Lee Baldwin as well.
I got it. I know the show. We'll do him first, and then we'll come a little early.
Okay. All right, so don't call yet then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we'll do it immediately after.
Okay, so we will. So just to give everybody a heads up, we will talk to Lee Baldwin, somebody from Lee Baldwin and Company, and then we will sweep the nation.
So here's what you're going to win: 2 chairs, a cooler, and a cornhole machine.
Setup. It's not a machine. It's a board. Couple boards, couple bags.
The old cornhole machine. You know what I'm getting at?
Yes, I do. A setup. A whole setup for a tailgate.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what you get. And maybe I'll even try and see if we got tickets in the commercial break to give you to the UConn game.
Okay.
So you can play your newfangled cornhole
win them before
machine.
you can get them.
Yeah.
No, you can already get them.
Yeah. So maybe you can win your cornhole machine before.
You can stop by, pick it up on Friday, and then
you can pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying you could get it before the game, and then you could have it for the
That's
UConn
what I'm
game.
saying.
I know. I'm agreeing.
I don't know why you picked Friday. That seems very last minute. You should pick it up tomorrow.
Okay.
That way you can prep for your party.
All right.
Have it go by.
I figured tomorrow you might have to polish it or something. Make it.
I'm not polishing a machine.
Make it look really nice. Okay, let's hit a timeout here.
It's going to be my new album, Polishing the Machine.
We'll get to Lee Baldwin and Company next. We will sweep the nation right after that. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
No, he hasn't left yet. Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the day is Hootie of the Blowfish. No, just no random. No, in order of Billboard success. Because I think I just played their biggest hit.
I think you did too.
I only want to be with you.
All right, let's.
That is not true about our relationship. I can deal. I only want to be with you for 2 hours.
2 hours every day. That's enough.
Fine.
Let's check in on the market as we bring in our good friend Lee Baldwin from Lee Baldwin and Company. Lee, how are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. Stocks are bouncing back, too, which is nice, led by the NASDAQ, higher by just under 1%. Our diamonds are contributing to this tech move. Google's up over 8% and Apple up 3%, both on favorable news about their antitrust case. And I've got another diamond today. Macy's up 17% on earnings. And finally, guys, Labatt's Blue is owned by Bud, down 2%. So we need to do our part at the game this weekend. Help out Labatt's Blue.
All right. We will certainly do that. Lee, as always, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Lee Baldwin, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Visit LeeBaldwin.com.
Speaking of Labatt, Steve.
That's right. It was a great segue.
Yes, we've got a Labatt cornhole machine. We've got Labatt chairs and a Labatt cooler, Labatt T-shirts, and 2 tickets to UConn. For anybody that wants to call in now.
You found some tickets?
I don't know. I screamed because I couldn't find anybody. I'll buy the damn tickets if I have to.
Okay.
So we'll get tickets for them.
How about that? I love the confidence. All right.
I think I know a couple of people.
Yeah. No, I know you do. I
got a good trivia question.
Okay.
For people about
UConn?
UConn.
Okay. Phone lines are lighting up right now.
Yeah, it's probably the chat because they get a. Okay, let's go to Lucas. Lucas, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. All right, here you go. We're going to do famous alumni from UConn. All right?
Okay.
This actress started 2 movies before Top Gun, but Top Gun was definitely her first big movie. Who was it?
Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to guess. I have no idea.
All right. Let's go to trivia. Our screener put trivia as the name.
That's okay. We'll find out who it is.
Who is this?
Who do we have the pleasure of talking with? You're on the air.
Hello.
Are you there?
Chris, how are you? Your name is not trivia. That's a good. Chris, all right.
I thought I was trivia.
Yeah, I will give you one more hint. So this famous actress starred in 3 movies, the third being Top Gun, the other being Amityville 3D. She played Goose's husband or wife in Top Gun. Who was it? She went to UConn.
Jeez. I know it was
It was
the lady at the bar. So it was like, Meg Ryan?
Yes, there you go. Meg Ryan. It was UConn alum. You won the setup. Congratulations, Chris.
No, this is Chris. Yes,
congratulations, trivia, on your win. We'll put you on hold.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my dad, Trivia Senior.
All right, no problem.
Chris, stay on hold. We'll get your information. We'll get you the prize. There you go.
You know, even though Jordan quit on us, he never would have wrote the name trivia in the phone screener.
That's okay.
We'll get through it early. It's early in the season. We're building a new program.
That's right.
New quarterback.
That's right.
And Meg Ryan went to UConn.
And we haven't swept the nation in a long time. So
they had a lot of puppeteers go to UConn.
What does that mean?
They had a lot of puppeteers go to UConn. That's what it means, Steve.
Why is it? Do they have
I don't know. That's why I was saying it. Like,
okay.
I can't do this anymore.
That's a very random statement. So I was wondering, like, why that is. Like, why is that?
I don't know, Steve. I was just saying they had a lot of puppeteers. Why is it? Because people like to play with puppets.
I didn't know if they had a program there for it. Like it's known.
Moby went there. You know the bald guy?
Yeah.
He also went there.
Is Meg Ryan the most famous alum? Probably.
Yeah, I would probably say. I didn't go through their politicians. I mean, sports.
Well, sports aside,
they had some good baseball players. Nick Ahmed. Let's see. George Springer. Did you know George Springer went there?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Men's basketball had a lot of people.
Brianna Stewart.
Correct.
Diana Taurasi. I mean, you can
I'm going through their football.
You go down the list.
Yeah.
Rebecca Lobo, Ray Allen.
I'm going through their football. I'm trying to see who they're. Marcus Easley. You like him? They haven't really had a Dan Orlovsky. Greg Lloyd Jr., son of Steelers great Greg Lloyd. There, yeah, not a lot of.
I have a complicated relationship with Dan Orlovsky. Came on our draft show the first year. It was great. Tried to get him on the second year.
Is he a puppeteer?
Got ghosted. So I don't know.
I wish I had that option.
I don't know what to think.
How do I get that?
I thought things went so well the first year, but
probably like I'm not working with that guy. He likes to talk about News Channel 9 too much.
No, there was no News Channel 9 talk because that was the national show we did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. So there you go, Chris. Is that true that Horshack from Welcome Back Kotter went to? I didn't. That might be their most famous. Ooh, Mr. Kotter. So there you go.
All right. Why don't we hit a timeout here? We're going to talk Bills on the other side. I can't believe it's the first week of the NFL season is upon us.
Will you feel vergy after week one?
I feel vergy before the season started. I feel vergy after watching Hard Knocks. They may lose. Ravens are really good. I tell you what, I know that it's obviously the first week. This game could decide home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. This could be for the top seed when all's said and done. I think they're the two favorites for a reason. So, no, I don't think it's, win or lose. I'm going to still feel vergy either way. We're going to talk Bills on the other side as hour number 2 kicks off right after this on ESPN Radio.
I would never say that. This promo makes me mad. I have never genuinely hated Jordan with a passion ever. And he quit on me. And I still don't hate him with a passion.
Is this on the phone?
Yeah.
Maiorana.
Who wrote trivia in the...
That was me.
Yeah, Tim Leonard, off to a hot start.
I told Chris, I was like, I'm bungled. But it was good because I know Chris a little bit. He like is a huge fan.
Oh.
From he always like.
Okay.
I treat him poorly.
He also does the Yankees newsletter.
I treat Jordan poorly. That's hysterical.
I just put down like he's got a podcast and a Yankees newsletter. That's like stuff.
He gets paid. Gavendo, you know, I know he told you stuff, and it's a bad take. Is there anything that I don't hate? I don't hate Stephen Fonte. I don't hate anybody. I would never say that. I like that Bigsby thinks I treat Jordan poorly. Here, I'm going to explain something, though. There is a higher ceiling at National Grid. It's just, you're going to have a boss that's not me and Steve. There's something to be said for making a little less money and having a job that's fun, like you can go to every day and love. That's just my take on it. Right, Steve?
I would agree with that assessment, but everybody's got to do what's right for them.
Yeah, like maybe he needs to do,
Everybody's got to do what's right for them. I'm in no position to judge.
Yeah, you're not going to make $180,000 a year in Syracuse doing radio, and I don't know what your brother-in-law. Like, as much as I gripe, like, I love my job. I love radio. I freaking programming 4 stations. It's so fun. Like, I could go probably make more money elsewhere in a different profession, but I love this. Like, I know it's inflation and stuff. Like, when I started in radio, I was like making, like, I'm old. I was making $12,000 a year. And then I got bumped to 16, and it was like, whoa, let's go. But that was in the early 90s. I think minimum wage was like $4.25 when I worked at Wegmans. When I was pushing carts. Like, yeah, if you're looking to be rich, you're not going to do it in Market 100 in radio. And if that's a problem for him, he's doing the right thing. That's why Steve and I work 15 different jobs.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Orange Nation. Hootie and the Blowfish, hold my hand.
With a little love
All right, we kick off hour number 2 as promised by going back to our guest line.
Steve's in his glory, everybody.
We're going to be talking some Buffalo Bills now. Bills and Yankees with Sal Maiorana from Rochester Democrat and Chronicle, also host of the Believe in Bills podcast, writer of Pinstripe People, Yankees newsletter. Sal, great to have you on. How are you today? Can you hear us, Sal? I don't know that we have Sal. Sal, can you hear us?
I'll put him on hold. And
all right, we will see if we can.
It sounded like a phone was there.
It did. We'll see if we can bring him back as we again preview the start of the Bills season. Bills season just getting started. Yankees winding down. We'll try again with Sal. You there, Sal?
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, good. We got you now. I guess let's start with Hard Knocks. Last episode aired last night. I've yet to see the last episode. I was working last night. What did you make of this series? Did you learn anything about the team throughout the series?
No, I didn't learn anything, but I'm kind of on the inside here, so it was all very superficial stuff. I mean, I'm sure the fans enjoyed, a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look. I mean, sure, there were things that we're not privy to, too, in the media, some of the off-the-field things that we don't have access to. But, no, it was very superficial, particularly from the football side of things. And I think the Bills, that was on purpose. The Bills really did have, I think, pretty tight control over the editorial side, even though HBO will say that wasn't necessarily the case. You could tell that it was because there wasn't a whole lot of drama. So it was fine. It was cool. Obviously the camera work is incredible for HBO, and you get some of that really cool stuff. But yeah, for us, I learned nothing. But for fans, I'm sure it was enjoyable.
We just went through cut day last week. Teams had to trim their rosters down to 53. Any surprises from that perspective?
No, not really. It was a pretty, this team going into training camp, you could have probably picked 50 of the 53 right off the top of your head. So there was nothing too dramatic. I mean, they had some injury problems that cropped up in camp and gave some guys an opportunity to make a statement. And then, obviously they had the injury the other day with Dwayne Carter, who would have been on the 53. So they're going to have to figure that spot out. But no, it was a pretty cut and dry training camp. The Bills they're a Super Bowl contending team. Their roster was, as I said, pretty much figured out before they even went to camp.
What do you make of bringing back a couple of these veterans and signing them to the practice squad? Jordan Poyer, Gabe Davis yesterday. What do you make of those signings?
Yeah, and Jordan Phillips. Might actually be a meaningful one because, they haven't announced anything today, but they're going to put Carter officially on IR probably later this afternoon, and his roster spot might actually go to Jordan Phillips. So that could end up being meaningful. But, bringing Poyer back and Davis, Phillips, these guys who have been here before, they're practice squad spots. They're not on the active 53. And it certainly doesn't hurt to have veteran guys who have been around here. They know the systems and everything else. They can help some of these younger players. There's really no downside to that. Now, if they get to a point this season where Jordan Poyer is playing games for them, that's probably a worry because he wasn't very good his last year in Buffalo. He certainly wasn't very good last year for Miami. He's kind of shot. So I hope he's here in more of a mentor role, similar to what Micah Hyde did late last season. That's what I would expect. And the same thing for Gabe Davis. I mean, I just don't see really a path to where Gabe Davis, unless they have a real big spate of injuries, I don't see him really being an impact on the roster this year.
That city and that that part of New York State, I know they're starving for a Super Bowl, and you probably get that question a lot. Is this year the year? So with that in mind, how does this year's roster kind of stack up with the last couple of years where the Bills have legitimately been a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, I think they're right there again. They're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFL. I really don't have any doubt about that, especially, what you've got the MVP at quarterback, and he's just entering the prime of his career. I think they've upgraded at wide receiver. They've actually, they had this everybody eats mantra last year, and Allen gets the MVP award. They set a franchise record for scoring. I think the receivers might actually be better this year with Josh Palmer, and Elijah Moore is now in the mix. Shakir's back. Keon Coleman should be better this year. You hope Dalton Kincaid can stay healthy and actually be a first-round pick because he really, to me, hasn't shown that yet. So if those things happen, their offense is going to be terrific. I think the defense is somewhere that you have to be a little bit concerned about. They've got some youth on their defense, especially on that defensive line, the 2 rookie defensive tackles. So they're going to have to figure some things out early. And now, we're finding out today that both Trey White and Christian Benford, I think Benford will play. I don't think Trey White will. But they got a little problem in the cornerback situation. They might have to go with some young guys against, Lamar Jackson and a really good Baltimore offense. So that'll be something to watch this week.
That's where I was going next. We talked about, where this roster has improved. In terms of your biggest question marks, your biggest concerns going into the season, I would imagine, based on what you just said, it's on the defensive side of the ball for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think their defense was particularly good last year. They turned the ball over a lot. They were one of the best teams in the league. But that's a lot of randomness, and you can't count on that every year. They were just absolutely awful on third down last season. They struggled a little bit with pass defense, and then, their defensive line was underwhelming. Now, they've taken a lot of steps this year to improve that. You signed Joey Bosa. You draft 3 defensive linemen in the first 4 rounds of the draft. They also signed a couple free agents. 2 of them, of course, won't be available for 6 games because they're suspended. So they definitely tried to address that area, and I think they did a pretty good job of it. But I just don't know, in this first month and a half, what it's all going to look like up front, because they are relying on some young kids to step right in there because Hoyt and Ogunjobi won't be there.
Fans are known to be unreasonable at times, right? And I'm sure you hear this. We hear it here on our show in Syracuse, and I'm sure you hear it in Rochester when you're covering games in Buffalo about Sean McDermott. That some will say, some small fraction of the fan base might say, well, they're never going to win a Super Bowl with him. That he can only get them to a certain level. Do you buy that at all? And I guess if they continue to just kind of get to a certain point but not get over the hump, do you think at what point would it take for the Bills to consider making a change, or is that just nonsense and they love McDermott and they believe in him?
Yeah, a B.
Yeah, right.
It's all nonsense. I mean, McDermott is as firm in his job as any coach in the NFL. The guys, they missed the playoffs 17 years in a row.
Right.
And since he's been here, they've made it 7 out of 8 years. I mean, I don't understand why fans are so insane about, well, I guess it's all teams, right? It's always the head coach's fault. And it certainly hasn't been Sean McDermott's fault that this team hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl, let alone won it. Now, yeah, there's been some moments in some of these playoff games that he wishes he would have had back. Obviously the 13 seconds debacle was number 1 on the list. But no, I'm always of the opinion that the players are what matter. I mean, the players are out there on the field making, catches, runs, tackles, blocks, whatever it is. It comes down to them. And I think fans too often, and it's every sport, too often blame the coach. And it isn't always the coach's fault. And I think most of it is not a coach's fault. It's the players. The players have to perform. And that, to me, has been the issue with the Bills. They're 5 years in a row of losing in the playoffs. It's been their defense was horrible in every one of those games. Now, yeah, okay, I guess you put part of that on coaching, but he's not out there missing tackles and giving up touchdowns and doing whatever. So, yeah, McDermott's perfectly safe. It's silly to be talking about him being on the hot seat.
Really well said there. Let's talk about this week 1 matchup. It's a rematch of what was a really good playoff game last year in Orchard Park between the Bills and the Ravens. What do you think this game ultimately comes down to on Sunday night?
Yeah, I just mentioned the Bills' defense is my biggest concern, and I think that's the unit you have to watch. I think Baltimore's offense is terrific. It's bad enough you've got to try to stop Derrick Henry and a running game that ranked number 1 in the league last year. But everyone kind of forgets Lamar Jackson had the greatest season of his career, and that's saying something since he won 2 MVPs before last year. They are a tremendous offense, and I don't like the matchup with Buffalo's defense at all. Like I said, especially early in the year when they're trying to get some things figured out with some young players. So I would be very concerned if I'm a Bills fan about Baltimore offense against Buffalo's defense. Now, yeah, Josh Allen can certainly keep pace. The Bills' offense, I think, is going to be very good. I just don't know. In this opener, I can tell you right now, I'm leaning towards Baltimore. I do think the Ravens are going to come in here and they're going to kind of avenge, what happened last season. People forget, guys, the Bills won that game last year. The Ravens outplayed them.
Yeah.
The Ravens outplayed them statistically all over, and it came down to they turned the ball over 3 times, and Mark Andrews dropped a 2-point conversion at the game. Otherwise, Baltimore probably wins that game. So, yeah, I think the Ravens are a tough opening test for the Bills.
You think these are the 2 best teams in the AFC, even including the Chiefs?
I think they could be. I mean, you can never rule the Chiefs out because they always find a way. And it isn't all just about Patrick Mahomes. They do a lot of things really well in Kansas City, and it's pretty obvious when you've been to the conference championship, whatever it's been 6 or 7 times with Mahomes, and they've won 3 Super Bowls. So you can't count them out. I think they're going to get a little bit bigger test in their division finally. I think the Broncos are pretty good. The Chargers, I think, are probably going to be pretty good. So I don't think Kansas City is going to walk through the AFC West, which they've done for so long. But, yeah, I would not rule them out at the end of the season. I think it's Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City, whatever order you want to put it in.
All right. In addition to your work with the Bills, you also are the writer of Pinstripe People, a Yankees newsletter. So let's talk a little Yankees baseball before we part ways here. And, the Yankees have gone on a little bit of run, but against bad teams, right? Against the Nationals, White Sox. Now, last night they picked up a big win against the Astros. They're playing better baseball. What are your feelings right now about this team and whether or not they can go on a run, once they get to the playoffs? Are they consistent enough to go on a run here in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, look, we all know the American League is not real strong. There's no super team in the American League. So it's very possible that the Yankees could, get it together and put a run together in the playoffs and get back to the World Series. I'm not going to rule that out. Now, it worries me that they played 2 months, actually a little bit more than 2 months, of just pretty lousy baseball. I mean, they were 8 games under 500 for a particular stretch before they just won this. Well, they've won 15 of the last 20. So they've kind of turned it around since then. But they were under 500 for most of the summer, and it just looked ugly. Now, they've beaten up on the JV, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Twins, Cardinals, White Sox, whoever else they've played lately. This is the 2 weeks that we're going to kind of know if this team is built to make a run. And it got off to a great start last night. They played really well against Houston. Max Fried pitched great. So that was nice, and I'm hoping that, maybe they are, on the upswing. Maybe they are going to start peaking at the right time here. It happened last year. They peaked at the right time last season and, ran through the playoffs and got to the World Series. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case, but these next 2 weeks will give us a real good indication of whether we can take them seriously or not.
What do you do with Anthony Volpe, I guess in the short term and in the long term?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a little while that he's got to be on the bench. I mean, you've got Caballero, who they acquired at the trade deadline, a really nice player. And, Boone makes the point, well, he's a great 10th man. Well, yeah, but he's also a better shortstop than your starting shortstop. He's a better hitter. He's certainly a better fielder, and he's a better base runner. I would rather have him play and use Volpe. Caballero can play everywhere. So, when Stanton's in the field, you move him out to the outfield then late in the game, and you can bring Volpe in. But his offense, guys, has been so pathetic. There's this amazing stat from the time he debuted in 23. I had it in my newsletter. There's 89 players who have had at least 1,500 plate appearances. He ranked dead last in batting average, OPS. I think he was second to last in on-base percentage.
Wow.
That's not a small sample size, guys. That's almost 3 seasons worth. And he has been a negative player on offense. And now the defense has kind of gone in the crapper this year. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen for him. We've seen 3 years of it. But they're not going to change. The Yankees are not going to change. They love him. They're going to keep playing him. And I think it'll be to the detriment if they keep playing him because I don't think he's very good.
Paulie and I are smiling at each other. We had a Yankee beat writer before he played in the majors say that he was going to be a Hall of Famer. So we're one of the great moments in Orange Nation history. That did not age well. You look at that division right now. Yankees are 2.5 back. Red Sox are 2.5 back. Toronto's leading the way. When all's said and done at the end of the regular season, what does the pecking order look like with those three teams in the division?
Yeah, I've said it for a while that I still think the Red Sox are the best team of the bunch, and I was questioning that after they traded Devers because I did not think they would. I thought that was a move that didn't make a whole lot of sense, and I thought it was more of a move for the future for them. But they've played great since they got rid of them. They really have played much better. The schedule favors the Yankees, though. If they can tread water in this next 11 games now, if they could tread water, they've got that easy finish. Whereas the Red Sox and the Blue Jays have a little bit of a tougher schedule. So, to me, it's wide open. The key series, obviously, for the Yankees, they play Toronto this weekend, 3, and they have to go to Fenway next weekend for 3. The Blue Jays, I think, play the Red Sox in a series somewhere along the way, too. Those are the games. Those games right there are going to decide the order. And right now, I think it's a toss-up. I honestly do. If you had to push me into a corner, I would say I think Boston might be able to sneak in there. I hope not.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. But, it's bad enough that the Blue Jays might do it, but the Red Sox would be really galling. But I don't know. I have a feeling on that. I just don't know.
Yeah, they are playing good baseball. They've been playing great baseball here this second half of the season. It's coming down the stretch here to the end of the year, and we're all looking forward to it. Sal, thanks so much for the time. Great stuff. Enjoy the start of the NFL season, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for coming on. And with that, we'll open up the phone lines, 315-437-7644.
Could that be the most wrong somebody's ever been?
It was a bold statement.
Ever? I've been wrong about a lot of things.
I wonder what was being said about Ryan Leaf, right? When he came out and it was between him and Peyton Manning who's going to be the number 1 overall pick. And
I had a Volpe rookie auto that I sold this year. I bailed on it, and I still got 50 some odd bucks for it.
Did you really?
Yeah, but,
$50?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that might be the most wrong somebody's ever been on our show. And I said Chris Bell was going to be all ACC.
I've got a Hunter Goodman sign on my desk at work. I looked it up. He had a home run, 4 RBIs again last time. Man, he's killing it. $25 it's going for. So
it's gone up. It's gone up almost
considerably.
$8, right?
I know. So get it while you can if you want.
I'm not paying you for it. No, keep it. If he gets traded to a good team,
I know, right?
That thing will go up.
That's what I'm hoping for. He's pretty good. He's got over 20 home runs. He's got over 80 RBIs.
Yeah, you chuckled at that card when
I did. I'm hanging on to it.
You've made money.
Well, no, I haven't yet.
No, but if you threw it on eBay, you'd be, as we call in the biz, in the hobby, paid.
Okay,
because you'd
be a profit.
Yes, you would have been paid.
All right. Well, maybe you can help me do that. We'll see what happens with Hunter Goodman as things.
Kevin from
along.
Liverpool wants to know where his cards are. Dan from Wildcats stole them all.
I got mine though. I got my 5 Rockies.
All the hits went out. None of the commons went out. Everybody got their hits.
I got my 5 Rockies.
So how do you feel about this? So some people they do these breaks on video, right? And some companies do that where they we're only sending you your hits because we don't want to pay for your postage on all the common cards. I don't like that, but I also get it because now I have billions of cards that are worth nothing just sitting around my house.
What are you gonna do with them? You should donate them.
Yeah, that's what most of the people say. We're only gonna send you your hits. So if you get rookies, inserts, you get those, but all your commons go to charities or kids.
Love the lingo, commons. It's like you do this for a living or something.
Yeah, commons. I'm gonna start breaking soon, guys. I'll keep you posted on it.
All right, let's hit a timeout here again. Phone lines open the rest of the way. If you'd like to check in, we got to get to today's business. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
You did not have a red. Your red that hit was worth what you got. There were no other reds that were worth. There were no other big hits in that box. It went the LE card and then his Hunter Goodman were the 2 biggest hits. There wasn't another red that was worth anything.
My Hunter Goodman was one of the biggest hits.
Yeah, it's probably the second biggest.
Nice.
It was nowhere near what Kevin hit, which was $1,000 LE De La Cruz card. Like Govendo hit that Ohtani card, but man, he's telling me how much he spent to hit that Ohtani card is freaking wild. You're better off buying the cards you want than... That's a horrible thing for me to say as somebody who's getting into the hobby and selling now, but you should just buy the cards you want. But the ripping is fun. How much is what card worth?
Hey, what's up?
Why did I just say what?
Let's see about.
I don't know what the count is on the black that Govendo hit. Though, if it's 10, it's probably an $8,000 card. Yes, it is. But if it's, it doesn't say. Because the orange it's listed at 6,500. I'm going to look up what the black parallel number it is, because if it's, I guess 2,000 for 8,000 is a good deal. Parallels. Black is to 15. Yeah, it's probably a $7,000 card if he could get that. Oh, hold on. I don't know. Because some are 20, some are 15, and some are 10. Oh, why can't they make anything easy? Black is 1 in 299 packs. Ah, damn it. I'd rather have LB Sure. I go blind, Steve. You know what causes blindness? Eat your carrots, kids. Is that an urban legend? Is that like is that a myth? That if you, are carrots good for your eyes? That seems stupid to me.
I will look it up. I believe it's factual. Yeah, carrots are considered beneficial for eye health. rich in beta-carotene, a pigment that the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for maintaining healthy eyes and vision. Helps with your night vision and helps you as you get older with your vision. So eat a lot of carrots. I love carrots, so
you must be able to see for miles.
Well,
you have X-ray vision.
You
can see your
my
bones.
eyesight is awful, as you know. If I don't
what
have
color is my
contact
underwear? Wasabi dude says, "Oh, I need night vision." He's going to start overdosing on carrots.
Tim Leonard is here for today's business. What's up, Tim?
Well, first off, today's business is brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. Lots to get to today. I want to start with Dan Hurley. Did you guys see this story that came out this morning?
No, tell me about it.
Dan Hurley is writing a new book, or someone's probably writing it for him, and it's about to come out, and an excerpt has been leaked that he admitted that he really, really thought about resigning or quitting coaching after this year, after they lost in the second round as an 8 seed. He said it was basically such a trying season, and he was so burnt out, and yada, yada, and I've been doing this for so long.
Good riddance.
And it's like...
It sounds like he's lying to sell books.
Yeah, but apparently he was so serious about it that he chatted with a Fox TV exec about getting on like the FS1 pregame for college basketball and kind of following Jay Wright. And he talked to Jay Wright about being a broadcaster. And, you know, there were quotes in there like Jay Wright told him that he just hasn't been sick to his stomach for 9 months a year. And I'm living my best life now. And he's still going to be the coach at UConn. But I don't know what to make of that. Dan Hurley just kind of bugs me. And reading that today sort of bothered me.
Yeah, I think he bugs all of us, and I think it leaked for a reason because that's like, you know, it's got people talking and, I want to read this book now, and what's he saying?
I can see him having all those interviews and everything just so he could write a book.
Honestly, yeah. And this is back-to-back years where, I mean, he flirted with the Lakers job pretty seriously. I don't know. I mean, obviously, he's a great coach. There's no denying that. I just find it kind of frustrating that he's always in the news for different stuff, and the way he handled himself in Maui this past year. And then even, I don't know if you guys remember, but he left the court in the second round game when they lost to Florida, who ended up winning the national championship, and he's walking off the court complaining about the refs. He just always is in the headlines for kind of weird reasons. So
yeah, I can't stand him.
Yeah, maybe that's good because there's not enough.
I do love his brother. His brother is my favorite player as a kid. I modeled my game after
like
Bobby
a brother.
Hurley.
You love
yeah,
him.
they're very different though. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bobby Hurley, like he's like a competitor, but like he's a competitor to like the right level. Like Danny, like takes it. He goes too far with the way he treats the refs and so on and so forth.
They're both unlikable. They both have very punchable faces.
Why is Bobby Hurley unlikable?
I don't know. I just never liked
Duke,
him. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right.
There's something about Duke point guards that you just want to punch.
Okay.
Go down the list. Reddick, Paulus, until he became.
I don't really want to punch John Shire. Do people hate him?
And like Greg Paulus is like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, but when he was on the Duke, when you're on the floor slapping the court, people just want to punch you.
All right. I think that's a you problem. I don't know.
It's an America problem.
Like Wojo, I'll give you that. Like
no, it's an America problem. It's the same reason everybody hates Tom Brady. They don't like success, Steve.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah,
there
like
is.
they want to tear it down.
But why the point guard?
I don't know. It's just what it is, Steve.
Right.
It's just he's the leader of the brand.
Yeah.
You know? Every Duke point guard you wanted to just punch. You did not.
I get Christian Laettner. He wasn't a point guard. I get, Steve Wojciechowski.
J.J. Redick was pretty annoying in college.
Redick.
The Tripper. What's the guy?
Grayson Allen.
Oh, he was the worst.
I get that.
But Paulus fits right in.
Why?
Because he was a Duke point guard. Come on. We all know he's a great guy now, but when he was a point guard at Duke, America hated him.
Okay.
Except for Duke fans.
Well, yeah, I covered him at CBA. Like, I knew he was like a very nice young man. It
doesn't matter how nice you are, Steve. If you put that jersey on, he was
still
jerk.
nice. No, he was still nice.
I think your point is true, though, Steve, that like Grayson Allen, we hated more because he was doing the tripping and being annoying. Greg Paulus didn't really do anything to deserve it. He just if you're a Duke point guard.
Yes,
like
it's
Paul is saying, you're going to be
absolutely
hated.
no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason to hate Tom Brady. Why? Because he's the greatest quarterback of all time and
there are
he
reasons.
bangs hot chicks?
There are reasons.
No, there's not.
No, there are.
What are they, Steve?
Well,
Deflategate
is right at the top of the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's no reason to hate Tom Brady. He won a lot of games and you hate him because he's better than your quarterbacks ever had.
I destroy my phone on a regular basis. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
The deflator. Oh, he lost a lot of weight, so I call him the deflator. Like, come on. No, there are reasons to hate Tom Brady.
There are. You just hate him because it's Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's the same way.
But do you actually think, not to rehash Deflategate, but do you actually think...
Nobody cares about Deflategate.
Well, I know, but...
No, I care about it.
Yeah, you do. Do you actually look at Tom Brady as a cheater now because of that? Or do you more just find that he was like winning and that was kind of another reason to dislike him? Like, was that cheating what he did?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's a low grade.
You could put...
But yes, that's cheating. And he didn't need to cheat. Like, that's like the thing with like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. They didn't need to cheat. Alex Rodriguez.
But everyone was cheating, right?
Yeah, they didn't need to. But do I look at them differently? Yes, I do.
It's. I don't know what it is, Steve. There's just players people hate because they're successful. Derek Jeter, Tom Brady.
I don't hate Derek Jeter.
You're a Yankee fan.
Okay, but you're not. Do you hate Derek Jeter?
Yes, I hate it. Yes, because he's got everything I ever wanted.
All right.
I think naturally...
You hate players that just, like, every girl wants him. He wins all the World Series. He's a shortstop of the Yankees. You just naturally hate people like that.
I don't know if that's true, because I love Steph Curry, and I don't have any reason to like the Warriors, but Steph Curry's just fun. I love Caitlin Clark. She's just fun to watch.
Curry,
Steph Curry's not on the... Tiger Woods was hated by a lot of people, too.
Jordan, like, my favorite basketball player growing up was Jordan. Favorite golfer was Tiger.
Jordan, yeah, nobody hates Steph. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. There's just a level of, there's just certain players you hate. Jordan, I don't think ever got there.
But why? He was the best. He was the best.
Yes, he was the best, but he was also he was smiling while he was doing it.
Do people actually hate Tiger? I mean, yes, some people do.
Towards the end.
After the divorce and all that. Yeah, maybe he...
Yeah, when he was...
But his approval rating before that was...
when he was sleeping with Perkins waitresses.
Yeah, and again, so that is, we obviously all collectively look at him different now.
I don't hate Tom Brady.
But I didn't hate him because he was great at golf. Like, I respected the hell out of him because he was great at golf. And Jordan, the same thing.
There's just some people that are hated. I don't get it.
I think what you're getting at is if you play for the big brand name, like Derek Jeter... Shortstop for the Yankees is going to be hated, probably.
Yes.
Point guard for Duke is going to be hated. But I also don't know if it's true that some guys are just hated for winning. I think it's more just the brand of the team.
Do people hate Dak Prescott because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys?
The Patriots were nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's the brand because the Patriots were nothing before Tom Brady, and they're nothing after him. Tom Brady was just hated.
Yeah.
Because he beat everybody's... Like, I, as a Steelers fan, hate him because the Steelers lost to him in the AFC Championship game 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 33-3 against the Bills, so
it's
I
like
have plenty
you just
of reasons
hate
to hate him.
Right.
Yeah. But he did cheat. I mean, Deflategate was cheating. It was.
Okay.
It just was.
That's another, like, Wasabi dude. People do hate Dak Prescott, and I think that's because he's on the Cowboys, but he's just... There's nothing hateable about him. Like, he hasn't even won any... Like, why do you hate him?
Right.
I think they just view him as overrated, and they're sick of the Cowboys chatter. All right, well, that was a long tangent. Let's move on to Kawhi Leonard.
This is wild.
Yes, was in the news this morning. Pablo Torre on his podcast broke some news that basically the long and short of it is Kawhi Leonard was getting $28 million from a company that Steve Ballmer funded. And it was for doing no work. It was just like, here's $28 million to circumvent the salary cap, and if you sign with the Clippers, we'll give you an extra $28 million that no other team can give you, sort of.
It's going to happen in college. This is exactly where NIL is going to go unless they somehow figure out how to.
So this is a crazy story. What does the NBA do about this? Can the NBA do anything about this?
They have to investigate it, right?
They have to.
But what rule did they break?
Breaking the salary cap. If he's not doing work and the owner's paying him, that's basically just under the table salary.
To your point, though, the Clippers came out pretty hard against it, and they were like, nothing is provably provably false here. And I think you're kind of right. Like, what did they break? What will the NBA say was in strong violation?
They can get endorsement deals. Like this tree company could be like, we want to hire you to.
But if it's owned by the same owner as the the team, and you're not doing any work, come on. You think that's not?
No, I think it's circumventing the rules. But I'm saying, like, what could the NBA? Maybe the NBA makes a rule now moving forward. I don't know that they can. I think that the Clippers can get in trouble for what has happened to this point.
I think if he's done, like, he should be on TV. Like, the company doesn't exist. Like, the company's not real.
Yeah,
right.
That's the big problem. Like, if he had a real company and, like, okay, now go out and do some commercials for it.
So the company's fictitious.
Yes.
We know that for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And the whole thing was just, he didn't do any work there's no proof that he was actually marketing for this company whatsoever.
I got you.
Yeah. So, they're going to get something, maybe lose a draft pick or something. Just like deflate.
I actually don't know if I think Steve's kind of right. I don't know if they can prove anything. I mean, it's just one of those things.
It's basically money laundering. Like, they've got to do something.
But again, he is able to, if the company existed and he was like he was doing PR for them, or he was doing a sponsorship for them. You can pay him $1 gazillion.
They better show the work. Because if you're just paying,
but is that on the NBA to figure that out?
Yes, if it was a different ownership, like if the money was coming from someone else, that would be harder to prove. But it's the owner of the team paying him to get around the salary cap.
The fictional company is paying him, and the owner has some money in the company or funded it, apparently. So, pretty wild story.
So if it's a fictitious company, how do we know that Steve Ballmer owns it?
Oh, my God.
Maybe we need to look into it more, but my understanding is...
It's money laundering, Steve. That's how you do money laundering.
I'm just saying, I agree that it's circumventing the rules, but I don't know... the NBA might have to come out and say, okay, moving forward... This is not allowed, but I don't know.
I tend to think it's not allowed.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to make up a fake job to give somebody a signing bonus is ridiculous.
It probably happens, though. It's probably not
I can't imagine.
One.
What I was going to say, I can't imagine that they just came up with this, like, they're the only people who have ever done this. So
I did laugh at...
Gaper's right. Paul, sometimes I just sometimes I see why Steve drives you bonkers. This week he's been on a tear. He's been on a tear of being completely ignorant. Thank you.
NFL.
I don't think I'm being ignorant to say that I don't know if they broke a rule. Like, do you know that rule exists?
They have a salary cap that they have to adhere to. They broke the salary cap by creating a fake business to pay a player.
Right. I would say that's frowned upon. They can't do that moving forward.
I
don't know if they're going to get in trouble for this, though. You don't know either. You can have your opinion. You don't know that they're going to get...
They circumvented the rule, Steve.
Right. But did they circumvent a rule that doesn't exist? Like, does that rule exist?
He literally took a fake job to get paid.
Right.
Did he pay taxes on this also?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Okay. What else, Tim?
I can do some digging in the break. But NFL rule changes this year. I put down the 5 big ones in front of you guys. I'll just ask you, is there any that you think will make a big difference? I'll read through them very quickly. Cracking down on unsportsmanlike conduct penalties is going to be a change. They're really trying to make sure there's not excessive celebrations or weapons or any of that.
The one that stuck out to me that I dislike is they can go back and fix a face mask penalty that wasn't a face mask penalty, right? Is this how I read this? But you can't challenge a face mask? Is that how I read it? That
the instant replay, did they add face masks? I mean, they added to instant replay is tripping, roughing or running into the kicker, horse collar tackles, twisting, pulling, or turning the face mask. Okay, so yeah, but you can't, if there was not, they can, I think, review.
If it wasn't called on the field, you can't throw a flag and say, hey, there was face mask. But if the guy got grabbed by the top of his helmet and his helmet turned a little. Yeah.
So you know my feeling on this. I've been saying for years that you should be able to review if there's an egregious penalty that wasn't called. You should be able to review that and retroactively, throw the flag. So
I guess all it is if they called a horse collar tackle or a face mask.
Right, they have to call it on the field. It's kind of like in college basketball. You have to call the goaltending in order to be able to look at it.
Yeah.
How often are you going to miss a horse collar, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They miss. Well, they do miss face masks all the time.
That's what I was going to say. They do miss face masks. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I agree, but
How many times do they call it and it's not actually happening?
That's the only thing they can change based on because it says it's important to note that replay assists cannot force officials to call penalties that weren't originally flagged on the field.
Right.
Replay can, however, overturn a penalty upon review. So they could say, was that actually a face mask? Let's check it out. Oh, it wasn't. We'll overturn it. No flag on the field.
Right, but I don't think they can.
They can't do the opposite.
They can't do the opposite, which I think is that's
crazy.
That's unfortunate because more so, I think you're going to miss a face mask and be like, oh well, that's what happened on this play, and you're not going to be able to add the penalty. So
I do think the virtual measurement is going to be a talking point out of the first week because it seems like it's taken a long time in the preseason to see if it's a first down. There's no more change this year. It's just a virtual measurement.
Who will get run over on the sidelines if there's no chains?
Probably people like me, the sideline reporters, the camera people.
Dateline Florida. This is the most Florida story you ever heard. Newly released body cam footage showing a viral moment in Florida where police stormed a Tallahassee Chuck E. Cheese restaurant to arrest the chain's giant mouse mascot is a bizarre and chaotic as expected. The clip shows officers entering and speaking with the manager before moving in on 41 Jermel Jones, who was working and dressed as Chuck E. Cheese when they arrived with a warrant. We're going to detain the mouse, one officer told his colleague, approaching Jones. Chucky, come on with me. Chucky, come on with me. The officers repeat. Chuck, stop resisting. You're being detained. Stop resisting. Let it go. Let it go. Parents scrambled to usher their kids out of sight. At least one yelling, "What are you doing? You wouldn't put Mickey Mouse in handcuffs." And to which the officer replied, "Have a good night," as they marched Chucky out of the building. I don't know what it does. See, this is where I struggle with this. They don't say what the warrant was for. Like, if this guy was wanted for like a violent felony, you have to do it. But was it something you could have just went up and whispered in the mouse's ear and been like, "Hey, bro, come on outside. We got to."
Right. That leads me to. I was thinking the same thing as you're reading that. That leads me to believe it was probably pretty serious.
But that had to be wild as a kid to watch Chuck E. Cheese get perp walked out of the.
That is a crazy story.
That would be one like your. So what did you do this summer when you come back from to school? Well, I went to Chuck E. Cheese and the mouse got arrested.
Highlight of the summer.
That's a good question. Did he get to keep the mouse costume because he brought it home? Was there? Do they have how many costumes do they have per restaurant?
How many Otto costumes? Is there just one?
No, there's got to be multiple because I've seen them. Like, I don't mean to.
No, for the games, I'm saying. Not. I know they go out and
because I've seen them in
community.
multiple places at the same time.
But for the game, is it just like one Otto for the whole game, or do they?
I would assume they have to have a backup, right? In case some drunk fan spills his nachos on you or something.
I'd be interested to know that.
I would think so. Yeah.
I'd be interested to know that. All right.
I think you know somebody that could probably find that out.
Yeah,
I actually know somebody that was an Otto.
So do I. I had a former intern who was an Otto.
So I can maybe ask him.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a timeout. That segment went longer than we were all expecting. We'll hit a timeout here
because of you.
We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Come at Greg Paulus.
No, you did, and that upset me, and so.
Greg Paulus is the nicest human.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But if you went outside of Syracuse and asked people if they hated Greg Paulus,
they're wrong.
Because
they're wrong. Those people are wrong to hate him.
You're a nice person, and I hate you. I'm sure wherever JJ Redick's from, the people think he's the nicest guy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You guys are...
JJ Redick kind of annoys me. Maybe it's just because...
It's because he's not from here and you don't like him.
No, like I said, John Shire doesn't annoy me. I mean, he was a good player, and... Am I wrong? Were people like F. John Shire?
I'm sure they were. Were they that good when he was their point guard?
Yeah, he was like 06 or... in that time period, they were pretty good.
Yeah, he betrayed Cuse. F him.
What about, trying to think of another guy in that era.
Like, everybody outside of Syracuse hates Eric Devendorf.
Do they? I guess, yeah. I guess they do.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Paul will be out there. Okay, I'll get Slocum. Slocum will be our best bet. Or yeah. And then we'll just have Paul do it. Yep. You can kind of just, you don't have much more time to kill. Just do it.
I'll just do a quick break here. I forgot what you did to me yesterday. But somebody, I forgot who the hell it was like, was Steve being serious yesterday? You sounded like you were agitated. I was, and I can't remember what it was you were doing to annoy me. You were being, you've been annoying.
About Don Mattingly. You said it wasn't worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Don Mattingly, like MVP.
Yeah, you wouldn't take my word for it that 88 was the worst set of baseball to have. Like, I didn't know what I was talking about. And you're like, why? Why? Explain it to me. Like, you've been annoying this week. Is it because Mario snored and you're taking it out? You can't take it out on Mario, so you take it out on me.
That's right.
All right, I see. I'm your punchy boy because Mario's a loud snorer.
JP started in kindergarten. It's been an emotional week. My daughter had a check stolen in New York City.
A check?
Oh, it's a long story. I didn't tell you about this. Now, listen to what happened. Her very first rent check. Okay, I moved her down 3 weeks ago. She goes to pay her rent leading up to September 1st. She puts it in the mail. Someone reached inside the mailbox, took it out, and did something called check washing, which I'd never heard of, where you're able to basically digitally erase like the amount, who it's to, whatever. So this guy put his name. He basically doubled what the rent was, and kept her signature. So it's her signature. It's her check. He changed the name.
Why is she still using paper checks?
Because you want to know why? Because her landlord said that if they wire the money, it'll be a $30 charge every month. And she's like, I'm already paying a ton. Why would I pay an extra $30? So she used a paper check, and that's what happened.
Yeah, pay the $30. Hey, give your daughter the $30 every week to do that.
She sits alone by a lamb.
Let her cry. We got a quick time out here, Steve.
Trying to find a thought that's escaped.
Booty was a good pick. I give you guys credit for voting on a good artist of the day.
Good.
You and Tim. You've been annoying this week, and I just want you to know that. And I've told that to our Q Sports Talk chat. There's something about you this week that you almost are like you're a Duke point guard. You're unlikable.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
It was ever since yesterday. I found out you have the authority to fire me. It's like I said, it's upset me and triggered me.
I'm not. But here's the thing: like I don't want to fire anybody, and I never will fire anybody. Like most of the firings that happen here, only 2 of them have been because of me, and those people deserved it.
They deserved it. Okay.
I've told you what one of them was.
Yes.
You can't look at adult material on the computers at work.
What was the other one?
No call, no show.
Okay.
So both of those were fireable offenses.
Fireable offenses.
Yeah.
Annoying you is not.
Okay, I got to tell this. So I had to fire the guy for looking at the adult material on the computer.
Yeah.
The way I caught him is I have remote access to like almost every computer in the building, and I needed to get something off of this very computer I'm looking at right now, and I logged in, and there was a naked chick on the screen.
Oh man. Fired the next day or fired that night?
Yeah. I told him I need to talk to him tomorrow. Like, because as soon as I logged on, it says in the bottom, like, hey, Paulie Sibilia has logged into the computer.
Oh, he knew he was caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I texted him. I said, we need to talk.
And he knew what it was about, I assume. Yes. I have fired 2 people as well. And they both deserved it, too. All right, let's take our final time out.
I'll tell
here.
the people, go to qsportstalk.com right now, and I'll tell you what was said during the event of the firing.
Of that particular one?
Yes.
Okay. I look forward to hearing that. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
No, I know who the fingernail phantom is. Yeah, I can't fire him. Of all the people on earth that can't be fired for some reason, I can't fire him. So, it's Chris McManus and I have to fire him. So we sit him down. because you need 2 people there where the firing happens. And I say, you know why we're here. I caught you looking at the adult material on the computer, so we're going to have to let you go. And he goes, okay, I just want you to know I wasn't. You know what the funniest part was? I go, I hope not, because it was when you guys were on Channel 9 and this camera was always streaming right to Channel 9. I go, I hope not, because you were on camera if you did. I don't know, but I can tell you it was not. Brian Higgins is not the poop bandit, because it still continues after he's gone. No, it was before him. The offensive dumps. No, Brent left too. That's one good thing that happens if you get fired from here is you get your name off the bathroom bandit. Someone can free. It's not Josh. It's not Josh. Because like if Josh did it, he'd come out and be like, "Hey, guess what I just did? I just blew up the bathroom." It's not Josh. It's not Griffin either, because it went on while he was gone. I think Cody also would take credit for it. Cody would dress up like the Hamburglar is the bathroom bandit. It's all day. Could be everybody. Tim Big Shit. Tim just comes out of the bathroom and says, "Taste it." I bet Steve has mean dumps.
Bet Steve what?
Has mean dumps. How could he? He doesn't eat anything. His dumps probably come out smelling like Febreze. Steve poops angry.
Why do you get the messages before I get them? I get the lay on mine.
Steve probably has to shower after every poop.
Sal did not get fired. Sal, just to set the record straight there, Sal left on his own to go work in Houston.
Also, it still continues. It could just be radio people are pigs. It could be multiple bandits, but... Oh, I got to open up.
Yeah, we know the trick now with the gel pen, which I was not aware of, but ever since this happened, that's what the bank told her too. That you can't really forge it. So anyway, live and learn. But man, welcome to New York City. First rent check. I was dealing with that yesterday.
That'll learn you.
Yeah.
I don't even have a checkbook anymore. Do you have a checkbook?
Mm-hmm. I don't write very many checks, but yeah.
I only know one song from one of these people.
Bank is investigating, but she should get her. No, they said, did the bank cover the difference? The bank is investigating, but they'll give her money back, I would assume. That's what they told us, but they don't have it yet.
Steve's the... Time. Why You Punish Me. It's time for the show to end. It's time to vote on tomorrow's artist. Time punishes me every day I come to this show. Let's go George Michael, Jennifer Page. I only know one song from her. I don't know if she's the one who won.
Who's that? Jennifer Page.
It's Just a Little Crush.
Oh, yeah, I know that song, yeah.
The Cure, and Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy, The Cure, Jennifer Page, George Michael, Tim Leonard.
I guess The
Cure.
Cure.
Disgusted.
I'm not thrilled with those choices. I'll leave it to the chat if that's possible.
You go.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with the choices either. I'll go George Michael.
I will go George Michael also.
Okay. There we go.
Sorry,
Steve,
chat.
Not
he has
leaving
a
it up to
song
the chat.
called I Want Your Sex. Do you know what that song's about?
All right, now I'm happy we picked this one.
Was that when was that released? Because I feel like that was a song that was like
89.
banned when we were in high school. So that would
Banned? It was played on the radio.
No, I know from like school dances and stuff. Like that was not allowed.
I tend to think that nuns don't want you dancing to I Want Your Sex. Steve, I can see that.
I was just curious when it was released because I was
88, 89.
Because I started in high school in '90, so that would that was about right. I just wanted to make sure my memory.
Probably also not played at high school dances at Bishop Ludden.
Yes. There were plenty. There were plenty that were not allowed. That was one of them.
You want to know how big of a nerd I was? Here, answer this question. Does this make me a nerd? My senior year, I DJ'd one of our dances.
That's cool.
I was like Screech.
That was probably cool, though.
No, I think now that I look back on it, I think I was a toolbox because Screech did that.
Did you just do that because you didn't have a girl to take to the dance?
No,
so you
I
were
wanted to DJ the dance.
No, I bet your friends thought that was cool. Like they,
No, I don't think they. No, I would like to. Maybe tomorrow we can put that up on a poll on was I a dork or was that cool? Because now you saying it's cool doubles down that it was a dork move.
Can we come out of the first break for Fran Brown with What's Your Sex?
Oh, that's right.
Well, I think I know better. I think maybe we'll do Faith.
Okay.
That's
you
a good
gotta
one.
have faith.
That would have been good for the previous coach.
Yeah.
He
Faith
liked-
without evidence.
We could do father figure.
No, do Faith. That's a good one.
You got small Paul
You can
on the mic
save
tonight.
the you gotta, or what's it? I Want Your Sex or whatever. You can save that for Matt Park, the guest tomorrow. In the second
I wonder
hour.
if he knows what that song's about.
Oh, all right. Tim, you've got your show. I didn't tease you yesterday, but
how about before we get it? Who cares about Tim's show?
Yeah, really. Who cares?
I remember specifically one of the biggest songs I played at that dance was The Boys' Dial My Heart. Like it had just come out and I had it on vinyl and I was so proud of myself. What a nerd. I hate myself. Oh, if I could go back to high school and do it all
I really
over
think
again.
that like 14 to 17-year-olds would have thought like that's cool that one of my friends is DJing.
Yeah, no, they probably are sitting home right now laughing at me.
Well, maybe looking back, but I think in the moment.
Yeah, and look at what I turned it into. This.
Yeah. See? All right, how's the show going, by the way, Tim? I haven't asked you.
It's been great so far.
Two great shows. I enjoyed them immensely.
Even Paulie likes them.
Did
so
you
that-
actually listen?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Probably
I don't.
not.
If I had to choose between firing either of you, it would be you.
Shocking.
I think I'd have to do really poorly to get behind you in those rankings. So.
All right, Tim's coming up between 5 and 6 o'clock.
So many questions about. Hold on, I'm going long.
What?
Did I scratch? No, but I did have my own mixer and 2 turntables that I saved up my allowance for, and speakers.
So did you mix into the one song into the next?
Yes, but I didn't. I wasn't like scratching.
Yeah. Did you ever? Did you know how?
No. Like, look at me, Steve. You know me. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Okay.
Did I have 2 turntables and a microphone? Yes, I did. And no women talking to me also.
So apparently they did not think it was cool.
I would pretend I was a radio DJ at home, like a complete tool.
No, that's not. Because I used to announce things at home too. Like
you were a tool too. You collected rocks, and I played like I was a radio DJ, like a knob.
And you know what? We both went into what we wanted to do. So I don't think that makes us a tool. I think it makes us ahead of our time.
Not now it doesn't. Like now we have a fun job, but dear God, I could have spent some time trying to meet a chick instead of playing records in my bedroom by myself. I could have done both. I could have maybe made some time to meet a girl.
Fair enough. All right, we got to go. With that,
where did I purchase a DJ? Hold on. Radio Shack.
I'm leaving.
I had a realistic mixer and 2 Technique turntables.
Okay.
People want to know this, Steve.
Yeah, we have a show tomorrow. We have 2 hours. We have commercials. We could do all this tomorrow. All right, you good?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
All right, good. We're out of time. We'll see everybody noon tomorrow.